Newshour Special Edition.
Hello, good evening viewers. I'm Shreya Upadhyay. You're watching Newshour, the Special Edition. It's just a few days to go before elections in Bihar, viewers, and the Waqf law has emerged as the new poll flashpoint for the Mahagathbandhan. A day after an RJD MLC threatened those supporting the Waqf Amendment Act and vowed to repeal the law if his party came to power, Mahagathbandhan's chief ministerial face Tejashwi Yadav has doubled down on the remarks. Addressing a rally in the poll-bound state, the RJD leader warned that the Waqf law will be thrown into the dustbin if his alliance forms the next government.
भाजपा किसी तरह का फैला रहा है, उसमें नहीं जाना है। वक्फ बिल के खिलाफ करने वाले को इलाज करना है। जिन लोगों ने वक्फ बिल का समर्थन किया, उनका इलाज करना है।
चाहे कोई बिल ये लोग लाते हो, आप लोगों से हम कहना चाहते हैं, वक्फ कानून जो इन लोगों ने बनाया है, हमारी सरकार बनेगी तो उस बिल को हम लोग पूरे दान में फेंकने का काम करेंगे।
Now, the Congress party has been echoing Tejashwi Yadav's threats, declaring that if it comes to power at the centre in 2029, the Waqf Act will be revoked.
Bharatiya Janata Party is in majority in parliament and unnecessarily against the Muslim community. They have passed this Waqf bill. I can say in 2029, if Congress party forms a government, a union government in Delhi, then definitely we are going to withdraw this Waqf bill. Waqf Act is nothing, just to grab the Muslim property, and so many ministries of the government, they have illegally captured Waqf property.
Now remember, the Waqf Act passed the Parliament's scrutiny and later withstood the Supreme Court's test as well. And that is why the RJD's threat to revoke the Waqf law has drawn sharp criticism from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Leading the BJP's charge, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has questioned the Congress and the RJD, asking whether they recognize the Parliament, respect the Supreme Court's verdict and uphold Indian democracy. The BJP and its allies allege that such provocative statements from the RJD reveal their appeasement politics and claim that the opposition is trying to bring back Jungle Raj era in Bihar.
You go and move in Patna on Bangla Chauraha. There are many old Waqf lands converted to five-star hotels and malls. Was it the objective of that? The people know it. Let them say. But the people know inclusive development only the NDA can give.
I guess Mr. Teju has lost it. Mind was never there with him. And now he has lost his everything. He's saying कि वक्फ बिल को कूड़ेदान में फेंक देंगे हमारी सरकार बनी तो। लालू जी का राज चल रहा है क्या यार देश में? Waqf Act is a property of Government of India. Anybody who says this, that means he doesn't know the Constitution of India. संविधान नहीं पता है आपको? जेल जाने की तैयारी लगता है कर चुके हैं. Anyway, you are anyway entering the tihad for corruption. Now, by saying this, you are actually heading yourself for sedition.
The political agenda of Tejashwi Yadav ji is not based on development. It's based on appeasement politics. Anyone can understand that these statements are rubbish and he's just trying to manipulate people in order to get their votes.
All right, let me open up this debate. Manish Barya, spokesperson for the BJP, joins me. Dr. Sanjay Kumar, spokesperson for the JDU, joining me. Advocate Nikhil Jain, political analyst, joins me this evening, as well as Shadab Chauhan, leader AIMIM, joining me as well. Good evening and namaskar to all of you. Nikhil Jain, can I begin by asking you a simple question? Can states completely nullify the Waqf bill, the Waqf Act? Do they have that power? When Tejashwi Yadav says that I'm not going to implement this, I'm going to throw it in the bin, I'm going to tear him apart, my first question is, does he have the power to do so?
Yeah, so Tejashwi Yadav's statement is definitely a symbolic and a representative statement on what his party, the alliance that would form the government, what are they going to do? It is very well within the powers of the state legislature to, pass a resolution against the Central Act, it is very well within their power to approach the Supreme Court to have the law being struck down for being unconstitutional. And when somebody says that I'm going to tear up an ordinance or tear up a bill, that doesn't, literally mean that you're going to go in the parliament and do that. It is basically registering your strong revolt to something like this, which I feel everybody should do, because the BJP tries to, run this propaganda that the Waqf board is some sort of a Muslim institution and they're there to usurp everybody's land. But that's not the case. Every state has its own Waqf board. Every Waqf board, state Waqf board, is actually a part of this relevant state government. And when you give overarching powers to the collector to decide whether on a dispute between the Waqf board of the state and the government of the state, that is basically in opposition to the principles of natural justice. The Waqf board of the state has to be heard before the collector can pass an order. And there are many instances across the country where different government departments have actually usurped land that belonged to the Waqf board of the respective state.
Okay, Manish Bhalia, come in on this. The states have the power to go and file opposition to pass a resolution, but they clearly cannot completely nullify this act, this bill, which Tejashwi Yadav says he will tear apart. Nikhil Jain says it's just symbolic.
नमस्कार श्रेया जी और नमस्कार टू माय को पैनलिस्ट और जितने भी देश में छठ व्रत के सब श्रद्धालु हैं उनको भी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं छठ व्रत की। देखिए तेजस्वी यादव whatever he said उनकी एक्चुअली औकात के बाहर की चीज है। he doesn't understand anything. Whatever Nikhil ji says, he doesn't understand the implications. और उनके जो देश वाले बॉस हैं उनको भी समझ में नहीं आता, उन्होंने भी ऑर्डिनेंस फाड़ के फेंक दिया था मनमोहन सिंह के सामने। So one bad behavior is in their DNA. Second, they don't understand the intricacies of it. They don't understand the fact that Supreme Court has already accepted the constitutional validity of this law, except few provisions which are still undergoing, the case is in the court. So without understanding all these things, he has made a statement simply for the fact that now he's feeling a bit under pressure कि अभी तो हम लोगों ने मुसलमानों के लिए कुछ किया नहीं, we keep asking for votes. So in order to appease, and that is the kind of appeasement BJP has always been against. Now let me give you a few data and I'll stop my case. In 2005, when we took over the NDA government from RJD, for minority welfare, they used to spend 3.45 crores. भारत के मुसलमानों को ये जानना चाहिए कि आरजेडी की सरकार और कांग्रेस की सरकार ने क्या किया, सिर्फ 3.45 crore. Now, in 2025, this government spends for minority welfare, particularly 613 crores. Okay. Just look at the transformation. तो सिर्फ इस तरह की बयान मेरे से कुछ भी नहीं होता है. Now, in 10 seconds, I'll tell you specific measures which Bihar government under the leadership of BJP and Nitish Kumar has done, which has also helped in actually reducing communal riots because of all these things. For example, there was a scheme called Kabristan Boundary Scheme. Bihar Minority Scholarship Scheme is there. Okay. Bihar State Madarsa Modernization Scheme, Waqf Property Development Schemes, Residential Schools and Hostels for Minorities, and Bihar Minority Welfare Department Education and Loan Scheme, Professional Coaching and Stipends, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Promotion. Okay. These are all specific for minorities. Okay. Minority Health Outreach and provision of additional posts and officers for minority welfare. You look at the track record of last 20 years of this government. So जब हम लोग बोलते हैं सबका साथ सबका विकास, we do it. Okay. And the people of this state also understand.
Okay, so let me get in Shadab on this. Shadab Chahan, go ahead.
It is very, very unfortunate.
The BJP says on-ground implementation, देखिए, on-ground we are not discriminating. We are working for the welfare of the minorities as well. Then why such a hue and cry?
It's very unfortunate. There is a national spokesperson, Ajay Alaf, clearly stated that we didn't require vote of Muslim community. Openly said on a national news channel. And this Waqf bill is draconian. And BJP bring this draconian law to snatch the property, Muslim properties, Waqf properties. But Barrister Owaisi, the first voice who came forward and tear this draconian law. Now Qari Shoaib is trying to copy the words of my leader, Barrister Sabdeen Owaisi. He's trying to become a junior Owaisi, but he forgot that they will not declare you as a deputy chief minister because they want to divert the issue of Muslim political representation. That's why Qari Shoaib is using these kind of words on the direction of Tejashwi Yadav.
Okay.
Can Bari Shoaib ask to Tejashwi Yadav, why you didn't declare me Deputy Chief Minister? What about the political representation of 18% Muslims? You will give Deputy Chief Minister to just 2.6% community. It's Muslim Yadav combination, MY combination convert into Mullah Yadav combination. And they become Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, 20% community of Bihar become the Dari Bishawan Mantri. That's the reason. Kari Shoaib is using these kind of languages.
Okay. Nikhil Jain, you want to come in? I also have a question, Nikhil Jain. When you say that this law is draconian, it's anti-minority, it's against the Muslim community, are you also undermining what the Supreme Court has said? They've let it pass. Yes, there are provisions that are still under scrutiny, but are you undermining what the Supreme Court, the top court of this country, has said?
Absolutely not, Shreya. So any law in its entirety cannot be draconian. There are only specific provisions of any given law that stand under challenge, and what is being challenged under the Supreme to the Supreme Court. On some of the provisions, the court may have given a favorable judgment, but you've already said that there are still certain provisions that are pending challenge. Let's wait for the Supreme Court to decide on it. Also, what is within the power of the Parliament or not? The Waqf is actually a very interesting legal question. As a lawyer, it actually, it's a very interesting question because neither the state list nor the concurrent list nor the union list actually mentions about Waqf. There are entries with respect to charitable institutions and there are entries with respect to trusts. And none of those entries actually fall within the union list. The trusts and trustees, that falls within the concurrent list, and charitable institutions, that falls under the state list. So there is a legal way out of it that the states can go to the Supreme Court and say that the centre does not have the whole sole power to legislate on Waqf in the manner that they've legislated. And of course, there are provisions that are problematic, much like there were in the farm laws when a collector who's directly an institution of the state government, and we all know how politicized the office of the collector is, they are given far-reaching judicial power.
Okay,
that's the same case.
Manish, I'll give you time to respond. Let me get in Dr. Sanjay Kumar also into this. Manish, I'll get back to you. Dr. Sanjay Kumar, what do you make of this? You know, you've heard arguments. There are, of course, certain concerns that the opposition has. But of course, the NDA has been insisting that, like yourself and like your party, that this is something that will only benefit the people.
Shreya, this is a very highly nonsensical remark that Mr. Tejashwi Yadav has made along with the other MLC. It's anti-constitution, they at times, on many occasions, the way these different factions of Mahagathbandhan behave like real anti-nationalists. They don't believe in constitutional authorities. They don't want to believe in Supreme Court. They want to throw out everything. As Advocate Nikhil Jain said, it's a symbolic thing. I don't think it's a symbolic thing. It's highly politically motivated and it's highly nonsensical remark, and it requires serious, you need to give serious thought to it, because the way, and in the context which he has brought this up, during election to, appease the Muslim community, I think it's highly anti-constitutional. Okay. Some of them are mostly feel affected because the Pasmanda Muslims, which consist of about 73%, they have been also included. They would also have say. And okay. All India.
Can you explain the section? Can you tell that section where Pasmanda Muslims get extra benefit?
Let me complete. When you were saying, I did not say anything. You have your own challenge, because on the one hand you are worried about the Muslim representation as Deputy CM. On the other hand, you want to support Tejashwi on Waqf.
No, we are not supporting Tejashwi.
You have your own serious problem.
No, we are not supporting Tejashwi.
You better deal with your own serious problem. Let me complete. So, Sariq Adib Ansari, National Working President of All India Pasmanda Muslim Mohaz, he welcomed the decision of Supreme Court. He welcomed the entire act. Okay. And now whatever they are saying, it's highly political.
These kind of people are the puppet of BJP.
Look at the AIMM person, he, on the one hand, he wants to support he does not want to support the act, and he is with RJD and others. But on the other hand, he has issue with not having named some deputy CM. So he wants to have his cake and eat it too.
Okay, Shadab, go ahead.
Hey, I want to ask my JDU friend, your party leader Nitish Kumar requesting Muslims to vote, but what you did in this draconian law? Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar is responsible for this draconian law. You both are responsible, and the people of Bihar and Andhra Pradesh will respond in our manner to vote.
Okay.
Definitely we will not vote for you.
Okay.
You are the person who is more responsible than Narendra Modi. Because if you want to stop this, you can. But you support BJP in this policy of snatching the properties of Muslims in Waqf property.
Okay, Shadab, let Manish respond to you. Manish Pariyar, go ahead.
See, it's a false kind of a bravado from Shadab ji. Nothing of that sort is happening. This is not Andhra Pradesh, right? This is Bihar. The Muslims are very, very mature, intelligent, and the track record of last 25 years.
That's the reason you didn't give a single ticket to Muslims.
Please, let me complete.
You didn't give a single ticket to Muslims.
I did not speak during your time. Have that courtesy. They are very mature. They understand, and that is why our NDA.
Can you declare Shahnawaz as the deputy
That is
chief
why
minister?
they are able to not get any inroads. Right? It's a regional party of Andhra Pradesh with no influence among the Muslims of Bihar. The Muslims of Bihar, they stay with us, with Biharis, with Nitish ji, with BJP, and they understand that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, it actually, we mean it. Because the development has reached to their homes,
Okay.
on their roads. They have seen that what
Challenge BJP
spokesperson
to declare Shahnawaz as the deputy chief minister of Bihar.
Okay.
And therefore, these kinds of...
Shadab, one second. Let Manish make his point and then I'll give you time.
And it would never have meaning among the Muslims of Bihar because they are not from Andhra Pradesh. They are Bihari Muslims and they understand and take the interest of Bihar forward.
Okay.
And that is what they are going to do in this election also. They are going to reject outrightly such kind of communal parties.
Okay.
Like
Okay, Shadab, go ahead.
मनीष जी मैं आपको चैलेंज कर रहा हूं आपने कहा बिहार का मुसलमान बहुत मैच्योर है और आपके साथ है आप बता दीजिए कि कितने मुसलमानों को आपने टिकट दिया है क्या शाहनवाज हुसैन को आप डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर का कैंडिडेट बनाने जा रहे हैं ये आपकी हिपोक्रेसी अगर नहीं है आप शादाब को गलत साबित कर दीजिए आपके पास मौका है यू हैड अपॉर्चुनिटी टू प्रूव ही रॉन्ग declared Shahnawaz Hussain ji as a deputy chief minister candidate. I challenge you and Nitish Kumar, both of you.
आपने कितने हिंदुओं को वहां पर दे दिया टिकट?
राणा रणजीत साहब
में दे दिया।
Okay, Shadab, you made your point. Manish, you made your point. Nikhil, you wanted to come in.
लॉजिक होता है।
राणा रणजीत
Okay, Manish and Shadab, you've made your point, please.
वो काम कर
Let others speak as well. Nikhil, you wanted to come in. Go ahead.
So I don't really understand what's the implication of the statement that the BJP spokesperson is making right now. कि आंध्रा के मुसलमान नहीं हैं, बिहार के मुसलमान हैं, बहुत smart है. What is he trying to say? Is he trying to say that Muslims from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are dumb? I really don't know what kind of politics is that. Let's stick to the topic, I would believe, and let's talk about the Waqf Act and how the government wants to bring in non-Muslim representation within the Waqf board. I'm sure nobody would like it if Hindu endowment boards or Hindu temple boards or Sikh Gurdwara committees would start having non-Sikhs or non-Hindus respectively, right? And again, I'd like to reiterate the point that Waqf by, there are many cases where the government is at odds with the Waqf board in terms of deciding the ownership of a property. When you give that power to the collector to decide who the property belongs to, obviously in pretty much every case, the collector is going to say the property belongs to the government, not the Waqf board, whichever department of the government is trying to requisition that property. And this might end up actually usurping a lot of properties that were given by people for a charitable purpose under the institution of Waqf, and they will simply get transferred to the government. And we all know the track record of the BJP when it comes to things like these. They're going to auction it off to their best friends.
Okay, Manish.
This is the primary opposition of the opposition of the country.
Okay, Manish.
Waqf law is about transparency and accountability, and that is what they are not liking it. It curbs encroachment, it curbs misuse, and it ensures property actually benefits the needy. But how can Congress and how can AIMIM and RJD really lack that, really like that part? It protects public and minority interests. That is what, and that is why Supreme Court affirmed it. Otherwise, it went to Supreme Court. So they would not understand. They would always, put lies in front of public, but public understands, and that is why we have been vindicated by court also. It is a reform. It's never an abolition, right? So this, everybody has to keep in mind that the best interest of the community has been taken care of through Waqf vote.
Okay, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, you want to add?
I just wanted to add what...
Yeah, Nikhil, I'll come to you. Dr. Sanjay Kumar.
I just wanted to add what Manish ji said, that, those who are sitting on the properties of Waqf, they are supporting these major political parties. They consist of people who are, also providing funding support and all kinds of support. So they are the ones who are eating out or enjoying most of it. So that is why they are putting pressure on these political parties. The inclusion of backward Muslims or the inclusion of poor Muslims, they are not liking it. That is something, that is one point agenda of these political parties, nothing else.
Okay. Nikhil Jain, go ahead. Personal vested interest is what the opposition is all about to the Waqf.
Now, the BJP must understand that the Waqf board of Uttar Pradesh is actually run and appointed by the BJP, the Waqf board of Madhya Pradesh by the BJP, the Waqf board of Gujarat by the BJP, unless they are saying that the people appointed by Narendra Modi and his friends are the people who are trying to usurp Waqf properties. I don't really know what sort of argument is being made here, number one. Number two, my friend from the BJP made a statement that this Waqf Act is for transparency and it is going to help the community. I would like to ask him, tell me the specific provision that you've included in the amendment that helps the community. Please enlighten me. I'm not aware.
No.
Go ahead, Manish, go ahead.
Basically, your argument itself is speculous, right? You are just using words. My point was that Supreme Court itself. So are you trying to say that Supreme Court was wrong and they did not go through the provisions of Waqf board and accepted it? Are you saying that, Nikhilji? You tell me that Supreme Court has been really wrong on this when they said this entire amendment is in the right spirit?
Sir, I think there's a gap in the understanding of how. Sir, I think there is a gap in understanding on how provisions of law are challenged in the Supreme Court. You do not challenge an entire amendment. You do not challenge an entire act. Whenever the Supreme Court affirms something, it affirms only a specific provision that has been challenged, not the entire act, not the entire amendment. For example, the amendment with regards to 5 years practicing Muslim being necessary, being a requisite condition to give any property in the Waqf, that is something that's been stayed by the Supreme Court because there is a decision pending on it. Now the court may decide that no, this rule is unconstitutional and we are going to strike it off. Similarly, they have affirmed certain provisions, but they have not affirmed the entire amendment. You have to understand that there is no provision.
Here's the point. While you make these arguments about the Supreme Court, scrutinizing all these provisions under the Waqf Act, the point of the matter is, can you then, as a political representative, make such a symbolic quote-unquote statement to your voters, misleading them, saying, I'm going to tear the bill apart, while all of this is under scrutiny under the top court of the country?
Absolutely, yes. Why not? Every political party does that.
Why would you mislead your voters?
No, that is not misleading the voters here. It is not a plutocracy.
That is.
It is a
when
democracy.
you say that I'm going to tear the bill apart, you're telling your voters, look, I have the power and I'm going to completely nullify the act. I'm not going to implement it. When in reality, you only have the power to oppose it, to make certain resolutions. You cannot completely nullify this act in your state.
No, sure, there is a different legal approach. Like I mentioned, that Waqf is not a matter or subject of the union list. It is arguably either a matter of the concurrent list or a matter of the state list. This, Tejashwi's government in Bihar or any other government is very well within its power to approach the Supreme Court and simply say that the parliament legislating on Waqf itself is ultra vires the constitution, because the original Waqf Act precedes the constitution, which is why we have it in continuance. But any subsequent amendments have to be within the constitutional scheme. Now, these are arguments to be made in court, number one. Number two, we are in a democracy. It is a republic. The people rule, not the judges. Of course, we respect the courts. I am a lawyer. I have the utmost respect for the courts, but that does not mean that you take away the power to legislate on issues of public importance from our legislators, from our politicians, from our ministers. So Tejashwi is perfectly well within his right to say that, and I don't want to engage in whataboutery, but just to tell your viewers, when there was the decision of Ram Mandir was pending before the Supreme Court, the BJP went around and put it in its manifesto. Ram Mandir वहीं बनेगा, इतना बड़ा बनेगा, अब तक बनेगा, वो अलग बात है. उद्घाटन कर दिया मोदी जी ने, मंदिर नहीं बना, पूरा तो नहीं हुआ. Be that as it may, sub judice matters पे BJP भी manifesto promises करती.
Okay, Manish Baria, go ahead.
I think I'm sorry to say he's out of his mind today. You know, all wrong statements he's making. If it's in a concurrent list, then the center doesn't have a say on that or what? And you give me a law which was there in concurrent list and which a state government has made a provision and said, okay, I will not put it. Please enlighten me on that. If something that kind of a thing has happened. So he's making all kinds of statements, right? It is a law which has been passed by the parliament. It has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. The state legislature does not have any authority on that to throw that particular law out of. You show me an example where the state government has done that. Max it can do, and that is not going to happen on 14th November anyway. But let's take up in their dreams, and if it happens, then max it can do. It's pass a resolution in the legislative assembly if they have the majority, and that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else they can do. But he's misleading the nation on this issue, and he's trivializing the entire issue in such a manner. I'm really surprised.
Okay. I have to wrap this up. I'm going to take closing remarks now. Nikhil Jain, starting with you.
Sir, just to clarify to your viewers, charitable and religious endowments are entry 28 of the state list, and they are only the state legislatures are competent to enact laws on that.
Okay.
Trusts and trustees are within the concurrent list. The Waqf, the institution of the Waqf board, is more in the nature of a charitable and religious endowment than it is in the nature of a trust, number one. Number two, when it comes to concurrent list, both the state legislature and the parliament are competent to enact laws on that. Yes, the state legislature cannot absolutely come into conflict with what laws the parliament has enacted, but that doesn't mean there cannot be variations. To give an example, for the longest of time, the state of Uttar Pradesh does not have a provision for anticipatory bail. It was there in CRPC across the country,
that's what I was saying.
Anticipatory bail का provision नहीं होता था, 438 नहीं होता.
Okay, Dr. Sanjay Kumar.
I think he is somewhat giving references. I am also looking at it, and it says that this comes under the central government passed the Waqf Act 1995, which is the primary law for governing Waqf properties in India. The state governments have the authority to pass their own laws and amendments related to Waqf, as long as they do not conflict with the central law. So the way they are saying that they will throw the bill and throw the act is something highly politically motivated and very, very nonsensical.
Okay, Shadab Chauhan.
देखिए, एट द लास्ट मैं सिर्फ इतना कहूंगा कि बिहार का मुसलमान उस जेडीयू और बीजेपी को भी हराएगा जो हमारी वक्फ संपत्तियों को छीनने का षड्यंत्र रच रहे हैं, और उस आरजेडी और कांग्रेस को भी हराएगा जो हमारे को मुस्लिम को रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं देना चाहते, हमको अलायंस में नहीं रखना चाहते, और हमें दरी बिछाने वाला और कुर्सी बनाने वाला अपना पॉलिटिकल गुलाम मानते हैं, हमें पॉलिटिकली अनटचेबल बना के रखना चाहते हैं. दोनों के खिलाफ मुसलमान वोट करेगा.
ओके, मनीष बारिया, गो अहेड एंड देन आई रैप दिस अप.
आपका वजूद नहीं है शादाब जी, वहां वजूद नहीं है, आप ट्राई भी मत कीजिए. इस बार जितने भी बिहारी हैं, और वो बिहारी हैं, वो सारे के सारे जो है उनको पता है कि एनडीए के लिए ही वोट करेंगे, क्योंकि यही एक सरकार है जिसने पिछले 20 साल से स्टेबिलिटी दी और बिहार को ग्रोथ और डेवलपमेंट के रास्ते पे ले जाया. आपके तो एक भी एमएलए आपके साथ भी नहीं रहे, उन्होंने तो काम ही नहीं किया.
चलिए, ठीक है,
करेंगे क्या हो?
ठीक है, I leave it there. Nikhil Jain, Manish Baria, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, as well as Shadab Chauhan. Thank you very much to all of you gentlemen. Let's wait and watch how the Bihar battle moves ahead. For now, of course, RJD and the opposition saying that they will tear apart the Waqf bill. We're slipping into a short break at the moment. Debate number 2 on the other side.